Okay, so now since the table has been loaded, let's change the name of this to apartments. Crackle. All right. And what we'll do is, so the data is over here, which we loaded. You see on the, so on the data tab, you see the data. You see on the right side, the table that was loaded with the column names. We can have the model view of it as well. But what we are interested in is the report tab. Here is where you will make the visualizations, finally. So to do that, first off, we would like to create a new measure. And what this measure will be? This measure will be price per meter square. Yeah, we need price per meter square. And what we'll do is it'll be sum, and then we'll select the column which is amount, divide by sum, and then the column meter square, and okay, now we have the measure ready. Now all we have to do is put the visualizations and drag and drop these columns. Okay, so first we'll make a table. As soon as you put the table, you see that we have Power BI is asking us to provide parameters. What we need to do is to first provide the column. So what we'll first put is the area. We have all the areas over here. This Krakow without area because there are ads which are without area. And then what we want to do is to put the price per meter. Then what we want to put is the title. And not just the title, the count distinct title. So we see how many offers are there. And what else do we want there to see is the amount, the average amount, right? And then one last thing we want to see is the measure that we created, price per meter square. So price per meter square for each area. Okay. Now the second chart that we want to put over here is the bar chart or clustered column chart. Okay, so we need to put it here. What do we want to put over here? The x-axis should contain the areas and the y-axis should contain price per meter square of this area in this area. Okay. So price per meter square in the y-axis. Sorry. As soon as I loaded this, I already see a problem over here. How is this possible that one area has such a huge difference in price per meter square? Because our data is not because it's a real life data. So there are always errors in real life data. So what happened was that in this website, in the apartment section, there was a offer of selling the apartment or of something different. So what we need to do is to go back and edit query. In edit query, we want to go to the amount and we need to make sure. So we click here, we give a filter to it, less than. So we need to put a filter with less, so the value of the amount should be less than, and you have to come up with a figure that covers all the rents and is a practical figure. For example, in Krakow you cannot find an apartment which is more than 18,000 zloty, right? Or we can even say 20,000, but it should be a figure that is showing that it's for rent, like a practical figure that shows that less than this are the rents. So if it will filter the rows which have amount more than this, because probably the something that has more than this is for selling. We'll put the filter. Now it filtered the rows with the value with the now it filtered the ads which had maybe selling price. And now what we'll do is to close and apply again. Now we have the data loaded and we see that the prices are there is no like outline price somewhere, so this is the average prices which are going. We can see that which area that has the higher amount higher, which area has higher price per meter square, which has the lower price per meter square, and so on. What we'll do is we're going to go to this format. While selecting the visual, we go to format visual and remove the x-axis and the y-axis, because we can hover over and see. So more cleaner look. Now what we're going to do is add a slicer. Now this slicer, because my friend is interested in 30 apartments which are 35 meters square to 45 meters square, more or less. So I want to put a slicer with the meter square, so we can filter out apartments which are from 35, around 35 meters square to 46 meters square. So these are the areas and the price per meter square apartments and the offers. Okay, another slicer that we want to put is if the apartment is negotiable or not. So we're going to do the same. We're going to drag and drop it on the field. Now we can filter for these meter square apartments, how many offers are negotiable and non-negotiable. Okay, so 28 offers are negotiable. And now remove the another slicer that we want to put is to tell us if the offers were refreshed or not. So I will just rearrange them. And what we want to do is to drag and drop this field. We actually forgot to rename it, but this will show us if they are old or they posted today. So these were the offers which were today posted, and these are refreshed. Okay, now what we want to do is the last step and the most important one is to put a map over here, because what we want to do is to put a map so we can have a visual look where the areas are, how far are they from each other, or how far is it from the city center or from the river, and so on. So map is an excellent way to visualize it. I will make it a bit bigger so it's more. And in the map, what we want to drag and drop is, for location, we put drag and drop the area. It already plotted the areas, but this is just plotting the areas. What we want is the bubble size to increase if there are more offers there. To do that, what we're going to do is to bubble size over here. We're going to put the title count of distinct title. Now the bigger the bubble, the more offers are in that area. And for the tooltips, we can put price per meter square. So if you hover over, we can see the average price per meter square in this area for this meter square apartment. So now the report is ready. We can click through areas to see where each area is. Okay, we can also get more offers, like if you're searching how big apartment you're searching, we can are negotiable or not, and we can search. So it's a very interactive way to see how we can find the apartment that we are searching for.